How's it going, everybody? It is me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another She-Hulk episode review. Today's episode is episode 3, also known as The People versus Emil Blonsky. So, before I go any further, please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't, hit the notification bell even if you are, and please don't forget to share. Leave me a comment down below. I want to know how I'm doing. What do you enjoy about the show? What do you enjoy about the conversation I'm having with you guys? So, good little follow-up from last week. I have nothing witty to say about it. It was really fun. I did, and I made sure I wrote some good notes this time around. I forgot to mention the in joke last week where Bruce said, remember when I told you he said Blonsky called him, apologized, even wrote him a haiku. And he said, look, I was a different person. It was years ago. I was literally a different person. That came out of his mouth. That was an in joke about Edward Norton being Bruce Banner at one point in time. Literally different person. And I love that was included in here. Something I didn't put in my notes I want to say now before I forget. I look forward to She-Hulk and Deadpool having some interactions, because just the fourth wall breaking, it's gonna be so insane. As a matter of fact, she breaks the fourth wall so early on after seeing Emil Blonsky that she's like, "You broke out of jail." Well, no, I was forced out, but I came back on my own volition. While driving away, it's so insane that her fourth wall ability is so strong. She can just let go of the wheel of the car and talk to us and go, "Oh yes, so don't expect this to be the type of show where you cameos every week, except for Bruce and Blonsky and Wong. Wong has shown up. Wong has a profile online where Nikki, because of course your paralegal has to find this man, baby, and apparently in his profile, he still has that he was librarian of Comatage. He even says out loud when announcing himself to the parole board, "I am Wong, sort of supreme former librarian of Comatage," and they're like, they don't want to hear all that. But let's talk about these cameos. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock and you know that the internet loves to spoil things. 1 second. Bubbly break. Not sponsored, but bubbly water, please sponsor me. If you don't live under a rock, you would know that Megan T. Stallion, the T stands for the, is in this episode. She is going to be the big cameo I talk about. Why is Megan in here? How did they find a way how to put her in here with that? It was actually kind of clever, because remember the nasty coworker that Jen had with the defense attorney? That nasty guy, I think his name's Dennis. He's blatantly gross. And you know what? I'm okay with him being the blatantly gross character as long as I don't ever have to see him again. He got tricked by an Asgardian elf who made him think he was dating Megan Thee Stallion, and she juiced him. She scammed him out of $175,000. And this elf shows up several times, and it's very easy to tell that it was her, because she tries to trick Pugsley as being Dennis when he comes back, and like, "Oh no, I'm going to just drop the whole thing." It took him to get a phone call from the guy. I'm like, no, it's talking differently. And then she tries to pretend to be him, like, "Oh, I love harassing my female coworkers," and he has to look at his coworkers and go, "Guys, you work with me. You know I'm not like that." Sheesh. She even impersonates the judge when the judge is like, "Hey, I find it very hard to believe this guy didn't know that he wasn't dating Megan Thee Stallion, but you know what? You have some good evidence here. You're going to have to prove that one. We're going to go to court," right? She impersonates the judge, which gets her 60 days in jail, on top of having to pay him back, because it is because of Jennifer Walters' scathing testimony. And another fourth wall thing she did is when Pugsley showed up at the bar, she's like, "A and B plot coming together. Good stuff." I instantly laugh at that. I am enjoying that part of the show so much. But, both Jen and Nikki worked with this guy, and he's like, "Can I get you on the stand?" And she said, "Yeah, no, this dude is full of himself. He's gross. He's nasty. he's so delusional. It is very easy to see that he believed that he was dating Megan Thee Stallion. As a matter of fact, initially, I think the guy's name is Holloway, their boss. He wanted Jen to be in charge of it. And of course, dude's like, no, I don't want her. I'll take the other guy. He'll take Pugsley, right? And Jen's just laughing at him like, you actually thought you were dating Megan Thee Stallion. And she was laughing hard. Now, at the end of this episode, the end credit scene, Megan Thee Stallion, Sailor Megan, and that's what they call her in Japan, Megan-san, is now Jen's newest client. And we are treated to the song Body Yada 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 and get to see She-Hulk twerk. When I tell you that I laughed so hard. Usually I don't like all that, when they try to insert stuff like that, like by they I mean WB and Cartoon Network, they try to get the Powerpuff Girls to twerk, and it just made absolute no sense. You got to look at the context and the connotation of it. Just trying to make a thing modern does not work. And in the setting of She-Hulk being that Jennifer Walters is, I'm going to assume that Jen is no older than 38, if that. She has to be in her mid to late 30s. Bruce is like damn near 50, just like Mark Ruffalo. But I'm going to assume that Jennifer Walters is a young woman, and she's down with Meg Thee Stallion. And so the twerking works. For other outlets, it has not worked. This was funny. It was nice to see something funny like that. Even before we got to the twerking, her boss saw them dancing and was like, all right, I'm just gonna go this way. And she said, I would kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion. And Megan was like, dial it back a bit. That was funny. That was actually very funny. The elf stuff actually led into Jen coming up with a good way for Emil Blonsky to actually get off. Because Dennis said, why can't they just put a thing on her to inhibit her powers, because stop her from doing this from somebody else. And she admitted to us, the viewer, she would never say it out loud, that Dennis came up with a good idea, which it is a good idea. Plus the elf, first of all, the elf woman, kudos to you guys for getting a seasoned woman, I should say, to play this elf character. I'm very surprised they didn't go with some young actress. They went with a woman that looked like she was seasoned, and she played the role very well. I did not like this elf, and it's very funny because this Asgardian elf and Dennis, y'all deserve each other. You're both nasty. You're nasty. But the inhibitor thing is what got Emil Blonsky off, because now as long as he doesn't ever use his powers, he can stay out of jail. But Wong, as I mentioned earlier, is the key witness. They have to know that, he just didn't up and escape on his own, which I gotta say, when it comes to the system is so stupid. Why would a prisoner escape and then come right back, you guys? Oh, yes, that's right. You don't care because the system is so stupid. Even in a comic book world, it's so dumb. So, Emil Blonsky, I mentioned last time, I said 7, but he has 8 soulmates. They're not it's not the Thunderbolts. They're all women of all different races and creeds, and he knows all of their names. 3 of them are going to finance for his meditation yoga thing because he has acres of land. He's not going to be a farmer. Thank goodness, we have too many farmers. F you, Thanos. He's going to do the whole meditation yoga thing. And as a matter of fact, one of the big things on top of Wong's testimony saying, I pulled him out. I needed him for Kumite so I can prove myself as the Sorcerer Supreme, and I had to fight a strong opponent. I offered him asylum at the temple, but he insists to come back and to serve his term to the people. I like that Emil Blonsky has actually turned a new leaf. I hope this is an actual thing. I hope it stays that way. So when he turns into the Abomination, it's actually to do something good where he's like, I'm forced to do this. I need to save people. I can see him being part of a Thunderbolts group or a Dark Avengers group. I can see him being an agent of Smash. Oh yeah. Now, when it comes to Wong, it's funny because the parole board said, you do realize you admitted to, doing a felony and breaking out a prisoner. And Wong's like, yeah, I gotta go. Just teleports right back. And as a matter of fact, he was late. And I wonder what he was late from. is this hot off of the heels of not the Social Supreme, the Multiverse of Madness? Does this take place? Is Multiverse of Madness right in there? Who knows? Because remember, all the Spider-Man stuff happened out west. We are in LA right now. We even have the joke, and I didn't have this in my notes. I'm glad I remember that when he met with Jen Walters, he even said, "I'm not going to erase everybody's memories again. That's very messy." And Jen's like, "Yeah, that's very unethical." Another in joke, because hey, who cares? Doc Strange said, "I'll do it for you, Pete," even though I don't know your name anymore. But that was very funny. I don't know if I actually just said this literally seconds ago, but Emil Blonsky did show that he was in control. Like Jen said, you said you could never turn to him. He said, no, I can choose to do it. And he shows her he shows her and everybody he takes off his shoes because he has white Crocs. He doesn't want to break those. The wives, the soulmates, they are hot and bothered for this. So I know the kind of freaks they are. He transforms into Abomination. He's speaking calmly because the guy was like, "How do we have any, insurance and assurance that he won't turn into a mindless rage beast?" He's like, "No, I'm in control. I got this. Yeah, I'm here. I can do this." And he turns back and he has to put on a blanket because he rips his clothes when he transforms, which I guess if he would have just jumped naked, they probably would have thought he was crazy. But yeah, no. And of course, all the armed men come in, and Jen and Wong are like, "You don't need those weapons." And if he wanted to leave, he could have left. It looks like they had nothing that could have actually contained him. That's actually quite funny. Very funny. Actually, in the comics, when Jen shows up to a prison, it's Reed Richards' miniaturized prison, which Reed Richards is good for building prisons. Reed is okay, but I am not a big fan of Reed Richards. And that will become more apparent as soon as we get a Fantastic Four movie. Ben Grimm is the best character of the original Fantastic Four. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Ben Grimm is the best character. Anyway, I've already talked about the in jokes. Now we got more in jokes in here, and by in jokes I'm talking about in real life jokes. Guys, I love that there are headlines and stuff online because Nikki keeps telling Jen, you need to have an interview because people are just going to keep talking about you. And this is one of the flaws of Jennifer Walters. She still doesn't understand. You will not have a normal life anymore. People know that you are She-Hulk. You have these abilities. You're not going to be some a-hole and not use them to save people. So people know that you have powers. You're just going to have to be cool with that. And she keeps running from it, which, again, one of the best lines in this episode is Nikki telling her, just because you run away from ignore it doesn't mean it's going away. And the in real life jokes are the stuff online, not just the people talking about her on the news, on Telemundo News and everything else. It's online where someone says, "I'm tired of female heroes." I have literally read that from either a post from Facebook or on Twitter, or someone says, first Me Too, now this. A guy goes, "Oh, so she's She-Hulk, so she stole the man from the regular Hulk." And another guy goes, "I'm not against women heroes, but just make up your own," which doesn't really apply in this sense because you can't just make up a lady Hulk. It's a thing that happened, whatever. But that was so funny. And it's funny because that is real life. There are very fragile egos. Funny enough, all the dudes that said all this were white dudes. Hey, if you don't like it, if you really don't like it and you feel offended by it, you're probably that person. And if you really don't like it, you should probably just question. If you don't like it because it's wrong, you and me both. I get, that's funny. The whole make up your own. There was an issue that I took with Brian Michael Bendis, a very prolific comic book writer who used to work with Marvel. He now works with Detective Comics DC. And before he left, he had Jean Grey out Bobby Drake, Iceman, as being gay. Literally, she outed him. I don't know why no one has ever called Jean out on that, but she outed him as gay because he's being an asshole. And that's Bobby. Bobby's always been an asshole. And when it comes to certain things like that, because I never believe in the intentions of Brian Michael Bendis. I feel like if this was Alan Davis, I'm not gonna say Alan Moore, Alan Davis, even Chris Claremont, right? I believe that if it was anyone else who wrote this, Josh Whedon, no matter what you guys say about Josh Whedon, he wrote the best Astonishing X-Men. My God, true to form. But if it was anyone else but Bendis that wrote that, I would have been like, okay, let's see where this goes. Because Brian Michael Bendis, he always has some type of secondary agenda. But you know what? I'm going to say this for the record for myself. If anybody who identifies with Iceman, who identifies going, oh man, I was in the closet before and seeing this hero makes me feel more comfortable with myself, good for you, dude. Or dude, I say dude for everything, all right? Good for you, dude, DOOOD. Good for you. I'm glad you have someone to identify with, because we all need someone to look up to and identify with. Little kids do, even adults do. Don't let them think that you don't, because you do. But you see these type of arguments online, and usually you don't get civil conversations from that. Just like the whole, why you gotta make everybody black? Just make your own. We have a couple, but you guys don't want to show them. So when you pass on a mantle, She-Hulk is not a mantle. Hulk is not a mantle. Hulk is a thing. Captain America is a mantle. Hawkeye is a mantle. What else is a mantle? Apparently the Scarlet Witch is a mantle, which, okay, sure. Thor is a mantle as well. So just like the mighty Thor, aka Lady Thor. And a lot of us who say Lady Thor, we're not saying it in a negative connotation. It's just like, sir or lady. It's just that kind of thing. But the mighty Thor, there's been so much backlash since 2015 until now about certain characters changing race or gender or sexual orientation that is ridiculous. And just seeing this commentary in this show, it's gonna rub the wrong people the wrong way. I said what I said. It's gonna rub the wrong people the wrong way. Get a thicker skin, man. Like, this is not the thing you need to be champion over. She-Hulk, the Marvel Cinematic Universe show, is not the thing you need to be boycotting. Watch some news. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is the Wrecking Crew failing to get a blood sample from Jennifer Walters. And this is a funny thing. She is so hell-bent on not having these powers that she almost forgets that she does. Like, dude comes up from behind, dude with a crash helmet. One of the Wrecking Crew, I guess that was Bulldozer. But one gets her from behind there. They got the weapons. It is the little Wrecking Crew, because that's what the guy calls himself. And dude with the crowbar, that's Wrecker. And the black dude with the mace, that's Thunderball. I got some complaints about that, but give me a second. And when they get him from behind, she's like, wait a minute. And she hulks out and just, you want to get off me? And dude, one guy's like, you want to flaunt your powers around? All right, but make sure you can back it up. She's like, how have I been flaunting my powers? Which she hasn't. She doesn't want to use them. And she goes, wait, did you guys get those from an Asgardian construction crew? And dude literally says yes. So this is the Wrecking Crew, everybody. Instead of Loki giving them the powers, they were giving it from somebody, because someone told them to get a sample from She-Hulk. But the guy was like, yeah, when she hulks out, I can't pierce her skin. They're probably going to get a sample from Blonsky. If this is an early spoiler, I'm pretty sure, because you're going to forget about the fact that he's out. We're going to go, this is 8 episodes? We're going to go 2 more episodes in. Oh no, I forgot about Emil Blonsky. Yeah, they're probably going to take it from him. No way. Unless the person who hired them knows Jen is going to try to get her to be all, regular Jen drunk. Nah. Which is interesting, because she looks at herself in the car before the episode ends. It's just like, I don't know if she's looking at herself like, oh, I'm upset, or looking like, this is me. And here's where my miniature rant comes in. The guy who's obviously Wrecker comes in. He's like, you're right there, Thunderball. Real name is Dr. Elliot Franklin. His alias in the comics is he's also known as the Black Bruce Banner. Why is he known as the Black Bruce Banner, Shane? I'm glad you asked, person behind the screen. He's known as such because he is the leading expert who was black on gamma radiation. He is literally the only person that knows more than him is literally Bruce Banner. Only other person that knows more than him. The person who's playing Thunderball, and Thunderball had a really great conversation with Black Panther. I forgot the writer. It's 2016's Black Panther run. Famous Arthur wrote those. The name is escaping me right now. I promise I'm probably going to tell you either in the comment section or in the description. But they wrote him so well because T'Challa's like, hey, you're more than just some gamma powered bad guy. You're Dr. Elliot Franklin. You have my respect. Help me out here. Which I love. Black folks helping black folks. It's a wonderful thing to see in comics too. This dude playing Thunderball does not look smart. He literally looks like some dude that probably dropped out of high school in sophomore year. It's like, I need a job. Let's rob these Asgardian construction people before they see us, and then Bob's your uncle. We work for some guy. There you go. That's my only thing. They're not swole at all. And I'm going to assume that by the end of this episode, they probably will get injected with gamma stuff and go, oh, bigger weapons. Oh, we're now the Wrecking Crew. Which is okay. I'm okay with it. Wrecking Crew are technically Thor's villains, but you know what? Jen can take them. I actually covered everything. But Emil Blonsky gave Jen some really good advice that Nikki's very smart. Nikki's been telling her this whole entire time. Can't really run from this. And Emil Blonsky, he thanks her again, saying, I think he says I'm in your debt, but not literally. She says, hopefully I can stay out of the news. You stay out of the news and I can stay out of the news too. Because they were even showing that the tabloids were saying, oh, she's having this baby. It's funny. But when she says that, he goes, they're going to talk about you anyway. Why don't you get ahead of it and just start saying stuff? And she just the fact that he said this, she looks down, and next scene is she's on TV and the guy is asking how she got her name. She didn't come up with it. Then she's saying she's going to give tips about exercise. She didn't even know what the hell he was talking about either. But yeah, really good. Really, really, really good advice. Nice, some building going on here. I hope eventually Jen becomes more comfortable with herself. We just talked about the whole changing heroes' race, gender, and sexual orientation. Jen, please become more comfortable with yourself. I hope you're not floundering still by episode 5, and I hope you're not pushing it to. I have a prediction. She's probably going to push it too much as She-Hulk, and forget that she is also Jen and She-Hulk. It's a balance. You gotta have balance there. But yeah, very funny, very good episode. Still love Wong's outfit. Wong has the biggest glow up from comics to MCU movie adaptations. Love that purple and gold on him. Just Wong is great. That's okay that he's the Sorcerer Supreme too. I'm loving that. But regardless of all that, what do I call this episode? I give this episode, all the cameos, the good end jokes, I'm giving it a 4. This is certainly above average. It's not spectacular. It's not sensational, but it is really, really good. So 4 out of 5 rating from me. Please, if you haven't seen this episode, watch it. She-Hulk is just, it's nice to have a constant. And everybody's always crying about, oh, the MCU so goofy and stuff. This is the show where actually the goofiness seems to have a right place. I love the courtroom stuff. I hope we see more courtroom stuff where you got these mystical beings. It's so funny that the Alpha even tried to get her lawyer to say she has diplomatic immunity. She's like, yeah, she does have diplomatic immunity in Asgard, not here in LA. I love that. Keep that stuff. So, yeah, 4 out of 5 from me. But please, enough from me. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Please do not forget, hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't, hit the notification bell even if you are, so you can be notified of more videos just like this. And the train does not stop. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. I officially don't know what's coming. I actually don't know who would have hired the wrecking crew. If it's the leader, the guy who we have not seen since the Incredible Hulk, if it is literally the leader who was supposed to be in that movie, but somehow they cut him out, I will lose my mind, because that would be awesome. As always, thank you for taking some time out to listen to me. Be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay safe out there, everybody. I'm dead serious when I say that you need to be good to yourself and be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. And I will most definitely see you guys next time. All right. Oh, no, there's one thing I forgot. One last in real life joke. There was a dude on TikTok who said, look, bro, I would smash. Son, all of us would smash She-Hulk. I'm just saying. All of us would smash She-Hulk. Plus, it's also kind of funny because, Hulk smash, She-Hulk smash, right? Exactly. So glad I got everything done. See y'all next time.